Hello and welcome to another episode of MTG Arena. This time it's going to be my Boros control deck. Yes, I know I do a lot of control decks. I fucking hate playing aggro. I feel like I'm losing brain cells every time I do. Anyway, it's a control list. You know what you're looking at. Planeswalker removal, life gain and draw. Sunset Revelry is just really way too good to pass up if you've got white in your deck. It's basically just gonna pick you up wherever you're behind your opponent. If you're behind on life, you get life. If you're behind on creatures, you get creatures. If you're behind on cards, you get cards. What's not to like? One Curse of Shaken Faith. Fucks with control decks. It's really cheap. It's honestly optional. I had one, so I threw it in. Rip Apart is very good. 3 damage to creature, Planeswalker, and also artifact enchantment removal. So it's just everything you want in Colin is gone. Sacred Fire, staple. 2 damage to any target, get some life. Throw it out of the graveyard if you need to. Shadow Skull Smashing, basically a land. Late game, you can use it to blow stuff up pretty easily. Crush the Weak, got a board wipe, gets rid of cheap creatures forever. Really good against graveyard decks, especially ones that are running Sedgemoor Witches. Igneous Inspiration lets you pull out of your sideboard, which is, again, just standard stuff. Environmental Sciences, reduced to memory. Illuminate History is tentative. I might swap that out. And then Mascot Exhibition as a finisher. Realm Corollas is kind of one of the more interesting cards. So it protects you from red burn, which is very nice. And it also amps up your burn, which is also very nice. Doesn't amp up your heal from Sacred Fire, because that's not based off of damage, but you're doing some extra damage anyway. Reconstruct History lets you pull stuff out of your graveyard if you don't want to burn Sacred Fire for the flashback, because it's fucking expensive, then pull it out with Reconstruct History, recast it. Doomscar, it's a board wipe, gets rid of anything bigger than 2 health. Seize the Storm is basically your finisher here. You're going to wind up with a bunch of instants and sorcerers in your graveyard. This gets bigger. It's hard to remove, unless they've got hard removal if they're playing black or white. So, it's good. Blue is annoying, though, because it gets counterspelled, it gets bounced, it's gone. Lordhold Command is very nice. You've got burn, you've got block regeneration, you can protect your creatures, or you can draw a card. If you've got like a couple of Sunset Revelry tokens or whatever, you can eat one of them and draw a couple. Inescapable Blaze, I might pull out. It's also kind of a finisher. It's nice against control, because it can't be countered, obviously. But I might pull it out and put in another Seize the Storm, maybe like... I might pull this out and pull out the Curse of Shaken Faith, and throw in another Seize the Storm, like Magic Missiles or something. Mary's Call is another finisher, but you're probably just going to be using it as a land. And so, lands, you've got, typical stuff. Cave of Frost Dragon, Den the Bugbear. I should actually throw in the... Changeling Land, Faceless Haven. And I'll pull out Plains, I guess. Alright. So, with that, let's go ahead and get on with it. Sure, this will do. The only downside to Rip Aparts is that they're sorcery speed. So you gotta spend mana on your turn, which is not exactly ideal. Alright, villain. What you up to? Right, so today has just been kind of a shit day for recording. So first off, I was running through Wizard of Legend for something like 4 hours. and didn't get any usable footage. And then I was recording this for about, I'd say, half an hour to 45 minutes and didn't get any usable footage there either. It's a different deck, but it just was not working. Anyway, so that was the ideal situation for Sunset Ref, where you get everything, which is very nice. But, Selesnya Aggro. Oh god, the Homestead Courage. Alright, chump 2, I guess. Probably got a second spell regardless. Yes, please. Ah, damn it, he's got something instant speed. Yeah, he's got something instant speed. Come on, just cast it already, Snakes and Veil. It doesn't matter, it buffs up both of them so they don't die anyway. Jeez. I think I have to Doomscar here. I was hoping he'd drop another creature so I could clear out a little bit more, but... Fucking aggro decks. And the green decks that always have the Snakeskin Veil whenever it's the most inconvenient for you is also annoying. Yeah. Drop this. You know what? Another Snakeskin Veil, of course. Like I said, fucking green decks, they always have Snakeskin Veil when it's the most inconvenient for you. Alright, Doomscar next turn. Fuck this noise. Yeah, you're gonna be doing a bunch of damage. Yes? You realizing you could have played something? Okay, Monk the Open Hand. Perfect. All of your shit dies. Except for the Faceless Haven, unfortunately, but I can try and kill that next turn. Unless, of course, he has... Okay, it doesn't look like he's got another... thing in hand. You know what? Let's do this. Now I've got a 6/6. If he pulls out, honestly, anything, I'm going to be deeply annoyed. Let's do this. Now I have 2 7/7s, and I'm going to hold. Because... Okay, and he just surrenders. Cool. So the reason I didn't attack there is because if he had creature removal, I would lose. Alright. Well, with that avatar, it's probably an aggro deck. It's not a bad hand against aggro. Means we're probably getting control. Hire of Heroes. Excuse you. No. Great. Well, that was the last thing I needed. I don't know what he's hitting, though. Probably Seas of the Storm. That's what I would assume. Run Corollas. Sure. Wasn't gonna cast that anyway. I think what I do is I revitalize here. Okay. Okay. Is that a cleric? It is a cleric. Okay, I'm just gonna kill that. Environmental Sciences, I need lands. Okay. Okay. It resolves. Okay. I think I Sacred Fire this. Okay, sure. That is a problem. That does mean that board wipes are not going to be particularly functional here. But, I mean, Seize the Storm gives me a 6/6, so, hey, that's a thing. And I can Sunset Revelry for some extra blockers. Okay, why? What's the point of this? Yes, okay, your creatures get indestructible. You could have also just not done that. I'm confused. Well, this is the problem with net decking. And so my solution to this, because when you criticize, advise, as old Uncle Joe would say, is just don't have a fucking smart shuffler. Just don't. Just have an actually random shuffler. Instead of having to constantly tweak the algorithm and break literally everything, just don't have a smart shuffler. It's not hard. And then you wouldn't have all these problems with having to tweak it. And this current iteration came in, I think, with the set rotation, and it's just really, really awful. Counterspell, please. Counterspell. Please. I want to drop this fucking curse. Alright, fine. Are you ever going to do anything? Jesus Christ, dude. Siphon Insight. Really? Oh my god. Okay. Burn your counterspell. Test of Talents. Kill yourself. Jesus Christ. I mean, I can't say I'm surprised, I'm just annoyed, honestly. I'll cast a Talents this. I assume negate. Alright, sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because it's so much fun. He's got another Test of Talents, doesn't he? Divide by 0. Jesus Christ. Because it's so much fun when you're just sitting here and everything you do gets counterspelled because you get to play against nothing but blue controlled. And it's all the same deck. And sure, I haven't faced it in this video, but I've run into this before. Oh my fucking god. And again, this person just takes a lot longer than they should. I mean, this person isn't particularly egregious, thankfully, but you'll run into people who are playing control decks. They obviously have no idea how to work. They didn't put them together, so they don't know how the parts fit. Sure, whatever. And so they just take forever. Constantly. And I'm not even talking about, like, people who are deliberately roping or whatever. It's just people who don't know how to pilot their decks. And it's just such a slog to get through those games. And it's boring, and it's tiresome, and it just... And it's so common. It just it happens all the time. Because you've got all these new players, or not even new players, but people who just don't know how to play. And they're just net decking. Because they don't know how to play, they don't know how to deck build, they don't know how to do any of the... Sure, fine. Any of the more fine-tuned aspects of the game. They just know how to grab whatever deck won the last tournament off the internet and beat it against people like a club. Our word kill. Fine. Counterspell. Test of talents. Okay. Another Fading Hope. That's three? Three in the top third of their deck. This is the other issue with the fucking smart shufflers. Just that you wind up with certain cards, especially with blue-red cards, or in blue-red decks, certain cards that always show up. You always get repeat copies in the top third or half of the deck. So you've got Goldspan Dragons, where I don't think I've ever played against a deck that had them where it got less than 3 in the top half of its deck. Alwyn's Epiphanies. Look at that. 4 Fading Hopes. The one card, probably, in this deck that can reliably kill that. And he got all 4 of them in the top quarter of his deck. And yes, that happens sometimes. But this is a lot more consistent. So you always get... So, 2 or 3... Usually 3 Goldspan Dragons in the top third, usually 2 in the top... usually 2 in the top third, usually 3 in the top half. Alrund's Epiphanies, usually 2 or 3 in the top quarter. But only when they can play them. Only when they get whatever ramp they've got that will allow them to play them. Really? Alright, well, I'll just do this then. I assume removal of some sort. Negating, sure. lost more health than he would have done on that turn. Okay. Yep. Saw It Coming is also a great one. Usually 3 in the top half. Either that or whatever counterspell fucks you over the most. And this is again the problem with the... Why would you ever tap lands like that? The smart shuffling system. Well, that's obnoxious. Why is that not going back to my hand? Because, I mean, I guess it's part of the flashback cost. Well, no, you cast it, then you exile it. So if it gets bounced as part of that, if it gets bounced before it resolves, then it should go back to your hand, not to exile, whatever. Memory deluge. Yep. So they get all sorts of stuff, and you get lands, basically. Very fun. Siphon Insight. Hooray. Anyway, this is why I'd much rather play Paper Magic, but unfortunately, nobody around here plays. Oh my god, fucking stop. And go for it. Let me see. How many lands is this? 5, 10, 12. Okay, it's not terrible. No? Sure. Fucking seriously. I have solutions to this. But they just never seem to exist. Like, let's see what I've drawn. 1 Inescapable Blaze, and 1 Sacred Fire. And of course he steals my Rip Apart, which I've gotten 2 of so far. Actually, I think that... No, that was my 4th one. So I get nothing that hits face. And, he steals literally the only card in my deck that could have, helped him there. Okay. Yes. Test of Talents. Calling it now. Because I've got 3 more of them in my deck. Fucking called it. Yeah, no. Because I have 3 more of them in my deck. So, of course. Actually, can I full control this? No, of course not. Yeah, so I have 3 more of them in my deck, so of course, he gets the 1 card that gets rid of them. Uh-huh. Okay. Well, that is actually not great for you, because I can just cast it out of my graveyard. I catch. Give me my life back. Hide by 0, sure. And again, that is 3 divided by zeros. And granted, this is a slightly less egregious situation. God. And nothing but lands. Literally nothing but lands. I have other things in this deck, they just do not exist. Because the shuffler doesn't know how to make it, or it's not even that. I've played this deck enough. It knows how to make this deck win, obviously. I've won several times. But the shuffler needs to enforce a 50% win rate. And so it gives you these games where the opponent draws perfectly, or whatever the hell they might need, and you draw nothing but lands. Test of Talents. No artifacts. 1 enchantment. 1 enchantment. Instant. Sorcery, I guess. No planeswalkers. Test of Talents. Let's fucking do it already. Or saw it coming. Sure. I've gotten precisely 2 cards out of my deck that actually hit face, out of a lot. Crush the Weak. No, I still don't need that. There we go. Test of Talents. Or Counterspelled, or whatever. Saw it coming. Saw it coming. Counterspell. Gee, isn't this fun? Really? Now Counterspell. No. Okay, board wipe then. Or removal somehow. Really? I find it... Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I kill one of these. And investigate. And I get a land, because of course I do. Now, I don't actually have anything else I can do here. So I think what I do is I cast this. Discard 0, get a creature token. So I want to hold on to this Rip Apart in case he's got another Meat Hook Massacre. Sure. It resolves. Now what I think is going to happen is it's going to turn out that I'm 1 card short of being able to kill him. Let me guess, he has a Field of Ruin. Either in hand or he just drew it. No. Okay. I'll scry. Running low on cards, unfortunately. Swing in. He's got removal, obviously. Yeah. Yeah, and now I'm just not going to have anything that hits face that doesn't get instantly counterspelled. And this is how the shufflers made sure that I lose. Because they just draw better. And again, yes, this happens sometimes with a non-biased shuffler, but it's entirely too consistent to attribute to anything else. Counterspelled. Alright, sure. Let's do it again. Counterspelled. I got nothing else to do with my mana, dude. Oh, okay. Well, you lose then. Yeah. Should have saved the divided by 0 for that. Alright, this is a decent enough hand. This person's name is almost identical to the last person I played against. Oh, okay. Definitely not the same person, then. Let's do that. Although, arguably, I should have used Rip Apart instead. Nope, never mind. Definitely want to do that before he has mana free to protect. Okay, well that was nice and easy. Anyway, here's the deck. It is what it is. It works when it works, and it doesn't work when the shuffler tells it to fuck off. It's the same as any other deck. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.